Right, this is the final stages of a repair to this scooter engine gearbox drive casing. We can see the cylinder there, and that is the wheel spindle sticking out there, and this here is a lug to mount a brake caliper, rear brake caliper, which had been broken. It had been broken and somebody had tried to repair it before and the weld had broken, and it looked like a very porous weld. I don't know whether maybe they tried to MIG weld it, but by the time all the horrible porous metal was removed, there was really nothing to weld back on. So this whole complete lug has been built up with weld. And it was quite lumpy. You could see that it was all weld, and I've smoothed all this off. And then found that I didn't have enough metal here. So I've just put a little bit more metal on the top here. And now we need to get this surface the same height as that one, because this is where the brake caliper mounts. Now it might look a bit odd the way this is bolted to the table of the mill with this big block underneath, but the reason for that is that there's a spindle in here, part of the drive spindle. I think these things have got an automatic variable speed belt on them, and that drive runs from that through a reduction gear in here to the rear wheel spindle. But yeah, we didn't want to take this thing apart, so hence it's stuck on this great big lump of iron here, and we've kind of bodged it by having just a block of wood at the other end. But we're only taking a little bit off, and we've got two reasonably sturdy lugs here to secure this end, so hopefully this should all work out okay. Right, I just want to check the height of this. Well, measure the height. I need to measure the height of that lug so that I know how much it's going to have to come off of this. And yeah, the height gauge won't go underneath the head of the mill, so we're going to have to wind this across. Oh dear, it's going to go a long way across. Heck. Or yeah, that's a bit of a nuisance. I've got to lower the bed, and then we'll drop the quill to get down to our height, and we'll set a stop. Well, that should work, and now I can wind. Can I? Wind this back far enough that I can actually get the height gauge in to measure it. Let us see. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Right, we've got millimetres and inches on this height gauge. Old-fashioned vernier scales. I'm going to measure this in inches because this is an old imperial machine. All the dials are in inches. So we have got 8.107, I'm going to say, for there. So make sure we're sitting on a clean part of the bed with no swarf. Yep, 8.107 there. This one. 8.15, 8.151. Right. So 44th thou to come off of this. Let's just see if this touches on. Right, let's just see how far we are, how close we are rather, and I've got to lift that up, bring that back so that I can measure it. So another 16th hour for that. And I'm just trying to get close to this face now. Just sneaking up on it 5 thou at a time. Looks like that might do us. We could go a little bit closer. I don't know if we need to. I'm going to have to do a trial fitting the brake caliper on here to see if we're close enough. Would be nice to have put this on a turntable and had this follow the radius, but yeah, that would have been a bit tricky. I'm going to take that a bit closer. Yeah, just a bit. think that looks pretty good. We'll check the height with the height gauge. Oh, that is, yeah, that is spot on. That's good. Okay. So the caliper fits on there. And we can obviously only put one bolt in at the moment. But that to me looks like that's going to work out fine. That being a straight line across there doesn't really matter. This has got plenty of clearance around it, so that looks good to me. All we've got to do now then is put a hole in it. I wonder if we can get a bolt down through the thread this way and put a mark where we need to go. Well, no, we can't get a bolt in there. Not straight. If we try and pull that in there, we'll think we're going to wreck the thread. I've just put a little point on a short piece of M8 threaded rod. Right, if I set this gap here, for some reason that doesn't want to go over. Oh poop, what the heck, what's stopping that? Right, I've just had to do a little bit more work in this area here. Just had to clean this out a little bit more, just to make sure that the caliper fitted in there, which I think it does now. Right, so checking the gap here. And if we get this about the same, so if I just give that a little tap, whoa, did that, or three. Let's get that off of there and see if we've got a mark. That looks pretty good. That looks like a reasonable mark there, so all we've got to do now, drill that through. Well, that was messy. Didn't intend to put that much oil on there. Hopefully that is in the right place. Looks good. Looks in the middle of the lug. And that machined kind of like cast, which weld metal is kind of like cast. Pretty soft, but chips up at the same time. Not terribly strong, but it's probably going to be about the same kind of strength as this was when it was first made. Right, I've got this slitting saw arbor, which I'm thinking might be good for machining the underside of this lug. If I can get that to go underneath there. Let's give that a go. Oh, that's not clever, is it? What's going on there? Shit. Not tighted enough. Is that because I'm going... No. Yeah, this is gonna... This is gonna try and loosen it, isn't it? It's been put on there to cut in that way. And at first I thought, well, it doesn't really matter, I'll just run the spindle backwards, but because it's going that way, it's going to tend to loosen itself. That's not clever, so I think we'll just flip that round. There's no key in it by the look of things, obviously. It wouldn't be spinning if it was keyed. So let's turn that over. Wow, this hasn't been used for decades by the look of it. Okay. Come on. Right, let's see if that'll work. And I really want to be running from this side, don't I? Otherwise I'd be climb milling and that might not be good. So let's try it here. Do it going faster, really. Yeah, let's speed it up a bit. Well, that's about the same thickness as the back one. So, as long as that's flat, that will do. That will do nicely. Well, that's the underside of that lug that we just machined with the kind of a fat slitting saw. Needed a little bit of filing. It either wasn't quite big enough, the cutter, or I didn't come in far enough. Left a little bit of step here, so I've just filed that off. And that's been blended in around here. So finally, I think this job is done. Woohoo!